You're welcome back. It's still Business Incorporated on Channels Television, and on the commodities market update, we talk about coconut today. The price of a bag of coconut has risen by approximately 213%, going from 8,000 naira in March 2020 to 25,000 naira in July 2021. Now, this is about 10 times higher than food inflation, which has risen by 6.85%. from 14.98% in March 2020 and is now at 21.83% in June 2021. What is driving this and how is it affecting productivity in Nigeria? Seyi Omidiora, research analyst with Financial Derivatives Company, tells us about this. Hello, Seyi. Good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon.
Good afternoon. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so why has the price of coconut increased even more than the price of food inflation? 10 times more. And how has this affected the commercial attractiveness of coconut production in Nigeria?
Yes, so as we are well aware, it basically just follows the laws of demand and supply. We know for a fact that coconut is used for a variety of things, from medical purposes to consume, even our normal daily consumption, to the pharmaceutical space as well. So there are a number of reasons for this, and of course the demand has also increased substantially in the time period being looked at. We also need to look at the fact that the COVID pandemic also happened, and with the health benefits and uses of coconut, especially in the healthcare sector, people tended to look a lot more towards looking after their health, and this subsequently has driven higher the demand for coconut based or coconut derivatives, and these are subsequently also increased the prices of coconut. Also, we should know that a lot of arable land in Nigeria, we are only cultivating about 10% of it, and this of course is also suboptimal. So those are a number of reasons why prices of coconut and of course coconut derivatives have gone up substantially in the past year or so. As regards the reasons why it should, things that will also drive the competitiveness in Nigeria, we need to consider the fact that a lot of the coconut being produced in Nigeria is currently being done in Lagos State, about 70%. And knowing that coconut is a very resilient plant, it can grow under a number of conditions, although it still needs a significant amount of water. So it grows a lot more in coastal areas. This actually understates the reason why it's grown a lot more in Lagos State. But we need to scale up coconut production by looking at other states and also improving farming practices in these areas. So that's one way we need to look at in terms of scaling coconut production in Nigeria.
All right, so talking about the processing now, the processing capacity in Nigeria is approximately 300,000 metric tons, which is only 30% of national processing needs, standing at about 1 million metric tons. So this translates to about 700,000 metric tons gap. How is this gap being filled?
Okay, yes. So we know for a fact that we are not producing nearly enough coconut to meet our demand needs. And a lot of this demand gap, this shortfall is being made up basically by imports from places like Ghana, who is also one of the top producers in the world. They are about 15th in the world. We also import a lot from other countries like Ivory Coast and Togo. So these are some of the places where we make up our shortfall from. But beyond that, as I said earlier, we need to start looking inwards and also ramping up coconut production by looking beyond Lagos and looking at other states, so that we can also make up some of these shortfall and also consequently export to other countries, seeing as there's an increase in coconut demand worldwide. The market has grown substantially by maybe close to 500% in recent times, and to about $400 billion. So this is a market we really need to start looking at.
So we see a lot of Asian countries, Indonesia, Philippines, currently doing very well in the production of coconuts. They're giving 70% of global exports. And Nigeria does have that potential. Now, how do we, I know you mentioned about looking outside Lagos, how do we maximize this comparative advantage that Nigeria has so that we can compete with these other Asian countries in coconut production?
Okay, yes. So for a fact, we know that these Asian countries have a lot more in terms of quality of seedlings and in terms of farming practices. So these are two major areas we also need to start looking at. A lot of research and development goes into the quality of seedlings that are being planted. We also know for a fact that there's a lag in between when the coconuts are planted and when the first fruits and eventual harvest actually start coming in, about between 6 to 10 years. So that's a significant time frame, and we tend to look a lot more towards perishables because they are the ones that actually drive a lot of our inflation numbers. But in terms of looking at comparative advantage, yes, we need to start improving things like our research and development so as to improve the quality of our coconut seedlings and consequently increase the yields and quality of the coconut being produced. Also, farming practices. We know that insufficient rainfall or change in weather conditions is something that is occurring on a global level. So we need things like better irrigation farming and ultimately, in general, better farming systems. So these are two ways where we can consequently increase our own production capacity in Nigeria.
All right. Thank you so much, Shay, for sharing your thoughts with us on expanding Nigeria's coconut production at this time. Shay Omejora is a research analyst, financial derivatives company, and he joined us this afternoon. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you.